Living things make up the world as we knew it. Living things are involved in our lives constantly, seeing that we are alive. There are characteristics that are common to all living things. Living things are made up of one or more cells. Each cell that makes up of living matter and is separated by a barrier that encloses the cell from each surroundings. However, there are many different kinds of cells that makes up living things. A single cell can be one organism. These organisms are known as unicellular. Most of the organisms that we best know, such as people, trees, and animals, are made of one or more cells. Organisms that are made of one or more cells are called to be multicellular. Another characteristic of living things is that living things needs to grow and develop. When an organism is growing, most go through a process called development. The single cell that starts the cell divides over and over again to make all the cell that organism has when in adulthood. As the cycle continues, the organism ages. With aging, when organisms becomes less efficient in the process of life, the organisms will not be able to reproduce if death comes as finally too. Another thing is, living things has the ability to obtain and use energy. Living things obtain energy from their environment and surroundings. All of the living things require energy to live and build their cells. Another characteristic that living things is that they share and they reproduce. They create new organisms of the same sort. In order for that certain species to survive, it is necessary for them to reproduce, whether it is sexually or asexually. Sexual reproduction needs two or more cells from two different organisms to merge and form the first cell of a new generation. Asexual reproduction is when only one organism can reproduce without the assistance of the other. The total amount of reactions, specifically biochemical reactions, are involved in managing the standard of living cells in an organism is referred to as metabolism. The idea of metabolic reactive focuses on the use of food as the source of energy. Food that has been digested must be used to speed up the process. The key is diet, and metabolism's goal is energy extraction. So that's the end of our discussion about the characteristics of living things. Good evening.